Hello, my name is Tony Reyes, and I'm a solutions architect in the cloud and hosted calling team. And I'm going to be talking about smart licensing um, in HCS 12.5, what we call simplified license management for HCS 12. What happens in UC version 12 is that there is no more PLM or HCS license manager in the UC apps. All the UC apps then go to Cisco Smart Software Manager in the cloud. If you're looking at this, I'm going to be actually going through a lab that we have in the cloud. Today it's a private lab, but we're going to make it available to all our partners. If you want to do this, we can definitely reach out to somebody on my team or myself, and we can proctor this lab for you. But there's two different ways that we're going to do this lab. The first way is where we have the HCMF or the HCS data center go in either direct or proxy mode. What happens there is that the HCMF talks to Cisco Smart Software Manager in the cloud, and that'll connect directly into the partner smart account, HCS partner smart account. And under that smart account, we got two virtual accounts. One is what we call HCS orders. That's where all the partners will place all their HCS orders in. And we got another one that's called operational licenses, and that's where all the UC apps will go for their licensing. Cisco will deposit bulk HCS operational licenses into the HCS operational license virtual account. So two accounts that are mandatory under the partner smart account, and one is HCS orders, and the other one called HCS operational licenses. In the lab will have HCMF. It's going to talk to the partner smart account, and it's going to know everything about these orders and the operational licenses. And we're going to actually do that. Then the HCMF is going to configure these UC apps to go and consume their license consumption from the HCS operational licenses. The other scenario that we're going to do at the end is where we have what's called a local SSM. We used sometimes referred to as satellite. What happens in that scenario is that the HCMF will talk to the HCS orders, and then so it'll talk to the smart account. But what we have there in local SSM for security reasons, and I'm not going to go into why we do this because we'll spend a lot of time, but we have the ability with CSSM or Cisco Smart Software Manager to basically take this whole code and put it into a virtual machine, what we call local SSM, sometimes referred to as satellite again, and configure it in the partner data center. What that'll do is then allow HCMF to come in and talk to the local SSM. It'll configure the UC apps to then use the local SSM. And then the local SSM can talk to the HCS operational licenses. So two things happen there. HCMF will still need to go talk to the smart account to figure out what's going on the orders. And then the local SSM is going to talk to the HCS operational licenses. That is the primer to this whole thing, and then we're going to go ahead and get started on our lab. Okay, so here we are in the lab. If we take a look, we have some credentials that we'll be using here. Some stuff that's going to be given to us, such as Cisco CCO ID, some smart accounts, and some virtual accounts. I copied some of the information that I need over here into a text file, such as my pot number, my AnyConnect username, and my AnyConnect password. And then the email ID, Cisco IDs, and the passwords, along with some of the other stuff that we'll be using. So I kind of put them over here. And I also put in stuff that we need to do with regards to the order. The actual lab is right here. This is what we're going to get for the cloud. And so it goes in and tells you a little bit about the lab. It's saying that that is intended to be a learning tool, and that this is a private cloud session right today. It's not in the catalog. However, we do want to put it in catalog, but as of right now, during the coronavirus and actually early stage of simplified license management, HCS, this is not in the cloud's private. It has to be created by us. Some of the information, some of the stuff that's already pre-configured for us, pre-installed, call manager, IMP, utility connection, expressways, Active Directory, DNS. The main two functions are HCMF and Cisco SSM on-prem, sometimes referred to as satellite. Those will be done. Those are pre-installed for us. Some of the stuff that you will have to have before you get started: a Cisco ID, Smart Account, Virtual Account, operational licenses, Web Control Hub for Module 2, IP phones for Level 3, laptop with any Connect client, which we have, and RDP client if you want to do it. Some information if you were going to do it by yourself, maybe pre-configured on your own environment. You have how to create a smart account, how to create virtual accounts, and then some of the stuff you actually have to do, and then how to request operational licenses. Some of the stuff about Control Hub, and some of the stuff about the IP phones which we're not doing in this lab. The topology itself looks like this. We'll have Communications Manager, Unity Connection, HCMF, and those are the three main functions. There'll also be a CSSM on the later portion of this lab. All the usernames, credentials, IP addresses, equipment details are included in this lab doc. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, it's telling you that you must know how to get to dCloud, and I'll show you the dCloud session. Here's the dCloud session. If it's already provisioned, you can click on My Hub. You'll see your information, session details, and then you can view your information, and then I can click on details. You click on details, it'll tell you which is your VPN client, username and password, and I'll show you that I'm already connected there. See, I'm already connected to dCloud San Jose. And these username and passwords, FYI, I have this pre-configured page where I have my username, passwords, and stuff that I'm gonna need, along with that usernames and stuff that was in the other slide that I've already copied into my notepad, so I don't have to keep on referring to, such as my Cisco ID, Smart Account, virtual accounts, that kind of stuff's already I copied it into that text file. Okay, it's telling you that you'll have certain time that you'll be running. It talks to you about the details, how to get the details, which I just showed you. And then instructor-led, how to connect to VPN, what we just did, how to do an RDP client. I'm not going to use the RDP client. I'm going to use the SSH client, so I'm going to skip that portion of it. You'll see when I get down to do it. And then here's the module 1. What we'll have to do, you'll create a virtual account, smart account, virtual account, HCS operation license you'll have to do, and then you're going to request the API access and install HCMF to 12.5, and then you're going to set up the HCMF for smart licensing direct mode. That's the way we're going to do it, and then we're going to do the SSM on-prem, and then we're going to configure the flex usage reports. We'll actually do 5, 7, and 6 in that order. So with that being said, how to create a smart account, we're going to skip that because that's already been provided for us. How to create a virtual account, we're going to skip that because that's already been provided for us. We'll see them as we get to, and I can actually show you. Well, here's the virtual accounts, and there's the smart account that we're going to be using. How to request operational license, that's already been done to us. It's been put into our smart account, virtual account combination, and we'll go ahead and do that. So here we are with task number 3, and it says to request API access for smart licensing, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this link, and I'm going to try to do this with my Google browser. Okay, so the first thing it's asking us to log in, it says type in your username and password. I'm going to use this username and that password, so go ahead and type in that username. Don't save it, and let me see, let's go to this password. Let's log in with this guy and sign in. Okay, so we're logged in. It says, do you want to show you? I say no, not right now. Okay, so then it says click on the Smart Accounts and Smart Licensing API down here, and then click on Smart Accounts. Once you do that, it says request, click on the Request API Access. Once you do that, it says to register the application, and then it's we're going to copy this stuff right here, and we're going to put that there. So we're going to have our user email address for our user and our client credential client. So let's go ahead and do that. So it says click here, Smart Accounts, then click on Smart Accounts, and then click on Request API. It says Request New Application. I already did it, so you can see that right here. And if I'm going to show you this, I actually I just did it, 22 and 3E78, and I copied them, and there are 22 and 3E78. So, but I'll show you how you actually do it. So it says request a new application. We'll say this as Tony D Cloud demo, and then if you can see it put my signature, we could say client credential client, and then we'll say register, and then there will be my client ID. I could say copy that to the clipboard and copy, and let me open this a little bit further so you can see it. Copy this to the clipboard, and then I would have those guys there. So that is that got us to this point. And then say it's telling us to copy those, which I just showed you, I already did. And then you have successfully completed this task. All right, the next step is talking about installing and upgrading HCMF to the latest version. Now we're going to enable, to go ahead and set up the HCMF to talk to the smart licensing. This will be the bulk of the lab. And this is, we're going to do it in direct mode. Now, proxy would be the same, pretty close to it. You would just have to set up a proxy in between. So the first thing is to set up our VPN into dCloud. So let me open up my VPN client and connect to dCloud RTP. I said, let me see, what's the username and password that the user is this guy. And let me go back to the client. So it's that user, and the password is that user. So there's the password, connect. Okay, there we go. We are now connected. We're establishing a connection. Okay, we just established the connection. Another thing will be to open up a browser to the HCMF. Well, let's go open up a browser here, and there we go. It says click on the application suite, and once we get to that, I got to get the username and password. So the administrator and the password is going to be that. So go back to this guy. Is it still going there? Yep, there it goes. Admin is trader. And put the password in. There we go. Okay, once we log into that guy, it says go to Infrastructure Manager, Smart Licensing, and then we're going to click on Smart Account Summary, and then we're going to click on Add New. Smart Account Summary and Add New. So let's see where we're at here. Still logging in. While we're waiting for it to log in, let's see what else we're going to have to do. Once we click on Add New, we're going to hit direct mode, the domain, there's the client IDs, passwords, and secrets, and make sure we do all of this stuff. So let's see where we're at here. There we go. Infrastructure, Smart License, Smart Account Summary. And it's a little bit slow. Obviously, the internet might be a little bit slow. I'm working from home, and it's during the coronavirus right now that's going on. So I hit on Add New. I set to direct mode, and according to hcs2Cisco.com, that happens to be our smart account. Now the client ID secret. Remember, there's the ID. Put that in there, and then let's go get the password or the secret. Get that, and I'm gonna paste that there. Now, normally this it says let's go look at the lab, but the lab says to do something here. What does it say to do that there? It says to put VA HCS order -dcloud and VA HCS operation-d cloud, and then click on and sure both of these, and then click save and confirm. So let's go do that. Now, so here it says to put D cloud, and here it says to put D cloud. Make sure that one's enabled and click save. The operation can affect the array. It says confirm. You got to make sure that this right here says added successfully. Okay, so it got added successfully. Go see what the lab says to do next. Once you confirm, go to the administrator jobs. Make sure you see succeeded in the under the jobs right here under both of these virtual accounts. So let's go back over here. Go to administration jobs and in progress. So they say in progress, both of them. Let me click both of these guys and delete them so we can see where they're at. Let's say refresh here. Probably not going to see it now. And let's see what's the next thing. It might have been. So we should see now, if it worked, we should see smart licensing, smart account summary. I probably shouldn't have deleted those. This is so let's say smart licensing, smart account summary. There's the HCSBU, success, and active. So even though we can't see it here, I actually shouldn't have deleted the last two, the one that we were working on. But you can see that it would have said success. It was set in progress, and if I would have hit another refresh, it would have said success or succeeded. So that looks good. We should see the number of VAs should say 3, the virtual accounts, and then we could actually then click on the virtual account summary and see some virtual accounts there. So let's take a look at that real quick. Actually, it says 2, and virtual account summaries. There's my operational D cloud, and there's my order for D cloud. So I think there's something. I think I'm missing one. It should actually also show this local virtual account HCS satellite D cloud, but I will worry about that when we get to do the satellite or the CSSM on premise. So we should see both of these guys, and we should see that they are auto-registered. So if we look on cluster summary, let's go look and see if we can see the cluster summary here. Oh, auto-registered and auto-registration. So what it's doing right now, it's actually registered to CUCM cluster to the smart account. And the Unity connection, it says auto registration in progress. Let me see if I can see any jobs here. Nope. So let's go back in and take a look at that cluster summary, see if we can see some. Oh, there it goes. It says auto registration failed. This is common to the to our lab. So with that being said, let me go in and see if we can fix this issue with Unity connection. What we're going to see with Unity connection is I already ran this lab before. I kind of got an idea of what the issue might be. So let's get into the Unity connection server. What we're going to get there, we're going to get to there's Unity connection. Let's connect to this guy. I think that this is common to this D cloud, this error, and we're going to have to go to, I think it's Unified Communication Serviceability, Unity Connection Serviceability. Let's see if we, there we go, put in the password. Oh, let me see. One, two, three, bang. So let me try that one more time. It says to enter a new password, and I'm going to try in the same password, which is the last one I just covered, and say save. Okay, so we're at the Unity Connection Serviceability. We can then go into Service Management. a little bit slow. The servers, and we can see that there's some services that are deactivated. Let's activate these guys, and then we'll try to reconnect the Unity connection server to the smart account, virtual account, HCS operational licenses. So we got one service activated. Let's activate the second service. Wait for that to come online, and then we'll activate the third service. Let me see, there's the third service. As soon as that's activated, we can go back and resync that Unity connection server to the smart account, virtual account. So make sure all these services are running. For some reason, this dcloud, we ran into that issue before, had to fix it. So auto registration failed there. We can go into this operational VA, and we're going to assign the cluster. Right now, the only one to assign is the CUCM. So we're going to assign, and there's the Unity connection one. We're going to assign it. And it says updated successfully. Let's go to jobs and let's do a refresh and see what's going on. So right now what's going on is now the Unity connection server is in provisioning state, and it says in progress. Let's see what it says right here. Hopefully it'll work. If not, we may have to go. There it is. Now it's succeeded. So if we go back to the virtual account, we can see that there's 2 clusters and 1 customer. So we look at those clusters. We see there's the Unity connection. If we go to cluster summary, we see that both of them auto-registered to that. So that will take us to the next section. So we just finished this. The next section is establishing a connection to the RDP client on the dcloud. We're not going to do that. I'm going to do it straight from my laptop. It says to go to this guy, which is the call manager. We're gonna SSH to the call manager. I'm going to use my Mac terminal client, and I'm going to use that username and password, and we're going to do a show license tech support on the call manager. So let me go to the applications. I'm already there. Okay, applications, go to utilities, and there's my terminal. SSH administrator at that IP address. The password was dcloud123 bang. Let me go back into this guy and type that in. And while we're waiting for it to come up, it takes a few seconds for that. Show license. You can just, I'm a triple typer, so show license tech support. Enter. Okay, it says once you enter that command, it says go look for the product ID and copy that. And then we're going to do the same thing for the Unity connection server. So I'm going to get that product ID. Where's it at? And I'm going to copy this right here. And we're going to verify this to our this is the CUCM. Let's go get the Unity connection one. Okay. Okay, so quit that guy. Now let's go do the same thing to the Unity connection server. The Unity connection is this IP address. Administrator with that password. Okay, so let's go back in here. SSH administrator at that IP address. And I'm going to copy this password. That password. right there. We wait for that to come on. We're going to do the show license tech support, and then we're going to go to Cisco Software Manager. So we're going to do show license tech support, and we're going to copy that information for the Unity connection server. Let's see, show license tech support. There we go. We go to the product. We get to the product. There we go. And we get the UUID. Let's copy this stuff right here. And this is the Unity connection one. There we go. Once we do that, it says to go to software.cisco.com. Let's try that next. Get a new file, new tab, and go to software.cisco.com. There we go. Log in. Oh, I'm already logged in. All right, continue anyway. And according to the lab, I need to click on Smart Software Licensing. It'll take us to this page. Click on Inventory and make sure I put the HCS operational licenses. I'm going to see that I have 2 clusters, and then under the product instances, make sure I under this virtual account, this product instances, see both clusters, and then I can click on the Call Manager one and the Unity Connection one, and I'm going to look for that serial numbers and the UIDs to make sure they match. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me see, where was I at? I was right here. Smart Software Licensing. And go to Inventory. There's my VAS Operational D Cloud. Go to Product Instances. And I think somebody else may have already, there's a Unity Connection Publisher. And there's a Communications Manager. It says 97. I don't think that was the one we recorded. Let me see. We have, where was that step at? Right there. We're looking for 03A1. Somebody else has got their call manager. It must be the other call manager that's in the DCloud lab that's registered to that virtual account. And there's the one we're working with right there. There's the call manager. Let's take a look at the Unity connection. Make sure it matches, and we can say 7182 is the serial number, and C583 is the UUID, and there it is, C583 is the UUID. So that verifies that our call manager and Unity connection servers are actually up and running and actually talking into this smart account. You notice we didn't have to do anything on the Unity connection and communications manager server. It was all done by this guy. When we configured this on HCMF went in and configured the clusters when we assigned it to that particular smart account, virtual account. So the process that we've done so far is we got this HCMF, we got it connected to the smart licensing, and we can see right here we had it connect to our HCS BU, and then once it connected there, it found both of those virtual accounts, and then we had these UC apps registered to that virtual account, and the way we did that was we got this to this we can see that there we had to manually assign the Unity connection server because we had some services turned off, but it was actually done here when we configured this guy. We told them to use operational DCloud, and auto registration. That's what that did. This right here confirmed that we were doing simplified licensing piece of it. So when you do that, that's confirming to Cisco that you are going to use these two, and this is telling it that you're going to auto register the apps to this account. So let's go on to our next task. This is where we ended back in step 29, where we just checked the Unity connection server. At this point, it says we've completed and to unregister the clusters. However, we're gonna go and do the license report lab, and then we're gonna come back and unregister the clusters, and then we're gonna do the CSSM. But before we go any further, let me go to the HCMF. And I did a manual sync, and I just wanted to just check something with you guys. Earlier, I said that we needed to see 3 accounts, and when I manually sunk the account, I could see now that I have three virtual accounts. And there's the one I was thinking I was missing, that satellite number. I kind of mentioned it earlier. I said we'll take care of it later. And the way I did a manual sync is that I click on this sync request, and I went to Smart Account. And I chose that, and I said sync. And I went to jobs, and it says it, it re-sunk up to the Smart Account. You'll have to do that every once in a while, maybe. You shouldn't have to do it, but mine I just connected, and obviously didn't do a good sync up with the Smart Account. But once I seen that again, I was able to see all 3 VAs, and what you'll see now is that we have 3 VAs. That's what's configured up in my Smart Account. 2 are for my operational direct mode configuration that we're doing right now, the operational cloud, dcloud, and the order dcloud. Now, some of you partners are going to be doing what's called satellite or local SSM, and in that case, we're going to be using this virtual account. Right now, we haven't got to that part, but I'm going to need it later. So let's go back to the lab. According to this, since I've successfully done this task, unregister the clusters, but I'm going to skip it. And the order that we're going to do it is that, let me see, we went throughout step 25. It says do task, go to task 7. So let's go find task 7. Task 7. It goes. There we go. We're going to configure the Flex usage reports. It says connect to dcloud and connect to the HCMF, which we've already done so far, so we're good. It says in any production, mandatory to configure subscription mapper to do the tree forward. The partner must configure the mapper before the reports get generated. We'll show you what that means. So click on subscription mapper. And then it says click on subscription ID, click on Smart Account, and select this customer ID. So we're going to go up over here, subscription mapper, and then select subscription, and let's go do that. There's the subscription mapper. And right now, this is an HPS. We don't have any subscriptions. Otherwise, I could choose the subscription. That this subscription ID would come in from the HCS ordered VA, and then you could choose your customer, and then you could choose what type of licensing were, and then that would show up in your licensing report. So that's what that's telling you before you do that. That's how you're going to get your reports mapped. Something that you'll have to do. So to do the usage, the mandatory Flex usage report, we're going to click on licensing management, click on Flex usage reports, click on agree to the end user reporting agreement. And this basically says that has been enabled to use the operational licenses, and it's going to be using the license reporting to add Cisco.com. So it's going to be sending the report there. So let's go do that. License management, Flex license report, and then agree to that. License management, Flex license report, and as soon as this comes up, I'm going to say click on agree. And there's this accepted the EULA. end user licensing agreement. So now you've accepted that you're going to be using that. So, okay. Let's go back over here. This is where we ended. So it says to do an instant manual report generation. In other words, this create a report. Click on the triangle next to the Flex usage reports. Expand the menu, and then you'll see request new usage report. So let's do that. We're going to click here, request new usage report. A job for generated Flex users has been created successfully. Now it says go to administration jobs. And you should see that the report was generated success. So let's go in and look at that. Let's look at the administration and jobs. It says there's generating the Flex user reports in progress, so we'll give it a few minutes and then let's make sure that it does it. It still says in progress. Well, we're waiting for that to do that. Let's see what it's going to say. Once you do that, you can go Flex user report, Flex user report. You should now see a new report, and then you can click on the download the report. So download CSV format. You should be able to click on that report and say download the report. Let's check and see where the HCMF is at. Let's do a refresh on this. Succeeded. So let's go back over here. Flex usage report. There it is. We could click on this guy, say download CSV format. Open with other. Let me open it with Excel. Applications. I knew where my Excel was at. And let's do it with this guy. Open. Let's see what happens here. And there's my Flex usage report, what it has right now. All right, let's go down to the next task. Go down to the folder. Okay, yep, we just did that. We opened it with Excel or numbers. You can configure the email report to get your reports and SFTP back to your report. So you can configure it to send it via email and SFTP it. So ensure my VPN is still connected. Connect to your Active Directory AD1 located at this IP address. And with that username and password. Okay, so let's do that. I believe that's my RDP client. I believe I already have one set up there. Let me see, 133. That guy right there. Continue. Administrator with the password of this guy. So where's it at? Maybe this guy. Password. I think I have to type it in. What was it? C1SC0123. Oops. C1SC0123. Okay. So there we are. We're logged into that guy. Click on a free FTPD, launch it, go to user, select Cisco, and click on the change button. Click on Cisco, click on change, and then enter Cisco for the password. So let's go back over there. There's the free. It's FTP. Users. Click on Cisco, click on change, password, CISCO, tab, CISCO, and then hit apply. There we go. And then click on SFTP and click start button. And ensure the server status is running there. So let's go back over here. SFTP start, and it says running. All right, good. Log into HCMF, ensure that the infrastructure manager tab, click on administration, and click on service provider, and enter any name right there. So service provider, administration, service provider, and click any name. Let's go back over here. Administration, service provider. Click on any name. We'll name it Cloud HCMF. And hit save. All right, added update successfully. What is the next step? Go to Flex User Report, Flex Users Configuration, and select Configuration, and set the time, email address to from. So Flex User Report, Flex User Configuration, and set this information here. Okay, so let's go back to this. I'm going to say here, Flex Users Configuration, and it says, go down to where it says reporting, put the date and time, and then the email address. And the reporting date, what is today's date? Oh. And then the time. So if we look at the time, the current time is 15:35. So let's set 15:40 right here. 15:45. 15:45. There's the current time. And I believe date is see what this sucker says. 4/2. So the reporting date, we're going to set it for today's date, 4/2. And then the email address, I'll tell you what, I just put my email address, toreyes@cisco.com, toreyes@cisco.com. All right, click save. Success. Let's look at the lab. Go back over here to this lab. It says scroll down to configure SFTP for your reports. Once done, click save. Oh, did I not click configure SFTP? I did not. No, there. Where was it? Oh yeah. Enable SFTP. And that's the host IP address 22//Cisco. Port 22//Cisco. Now I can save it. It's success. I put the right slash in there. Yep. Alrighty, it says once we do that, hit save, wait until the reporting time. That's going to be about 10 minutes from now. Go to administration and then jobs and see the status. You see it's successful, complete. You should see this. Then check your email and you should have a Flex license report. Bring up the RDP and under downloads folders and you'll be able to see that. All right, guys, so it's been about 10 minutes. If you can look at my time, it's 17:46. We said 17:45. So it says go to reporting time, administration jobs, see the status. Administration jobs to see the status, and we should see that it succeeded, okay. And then we should be able to see that I got an email. And then it says go into the AD and go into the downloads. There's my email. Actually just came in right now. Let's take a look at this quick email real quick. And there's my please find the Flex User Report in the attachment. It just came in by luck. I hadn't checked it yet. there's my Flex usage report that just got generated right on time. Now let's go look at the. By the way, this is my email. So let's see. There we go. That was my email. We just verify that. There it was right there. And there's, by the way, there's an alert when the when we agreed to the end user's license agreement. It got sent there, and then there's my Flex usage report that just got generated. So now, if we go down to this RDP session, it says go down to the, I believe it's a downloads folder. So let's go take a look at this guy, see where that folder's at. I believe it said downloads. Let's go downloads, and there it is. There's the dCloud Flex usage report, and it's they open it up with they just say I guess Notepad. It doesn't matter. Well, I should have probably chose the other one, but in either way, you can see there's the CSV file, and you could open it up with whatever you wanted to. So if we go back to our lab, according to this, once we see that file, we have, in effect, where's that at? Right there. Yeah, if I could just do this a little better. We can look at their file. We just looked at our files both on email, and we've successfully completed module 1. All right, folks, so we completed the first part of the lab, which was the HCMF going via direct mode to the smart accounts, partner smart account. In this case, we were going to HCS2Cisco.com, and it was using the HCS orders and the HCS operational licenses. And it configured the UC apps to connect to the operational license, consume their licenses there. That portion was done. We're moving to this portion now, which consists of local SSM, what's also known as satellite, and what you'll see is called SSM on-prem. All three names are interchangeable, but what's going to happen there is that when we have the local SSM is the ability to bring this whole CSSM into a virtual machine into the data center cloud. What's going to happen is the HCMF will still continue to be talking to the cloud because it needs to talk to the HCS orders VA and maybe the smart account at that level. But it's also going to go ahead and do API integration into local SSM. We're going to go ahead and configure the local SSM for that. Get the credentials, get it configured into that. And then it's going to configure the UC apps to go and use the local SSM. We're going to see local SSM is going to be associated to these HCS operational licenses and grab those licenses and move those licenses from there to here so that he can then provide UC licenses to these apps. So with that being said, let's go to our lab. So this is where we ended our lab. This is when the UC apps, we verified that they were looking the CSSM in the cloud. And then we went and did the license reporting. So now we're going to get ready to do this. So the first thing is we're going to have to unregister the UC apps from the CSSM in the cloud. So we're going to log into our HCMF, and then we're going to go infrastructure licensing. We're going to see the operational licenses VA that we're going to see there. We're going to see that we have the 2 clusters and the 1 customer configured on there. And then we're going to, once we see that in the virtual account summary, we're going to go into virtual account summary, click on that, and then we're going to check them and unassign them from the local account summary. And then we should see that none of them are associated to that. At that time, we have basically went into the UC apps and unassigned them from the CSSM in the cloud. So go smart summary, virtual account summary. Let's take a look at this. And there we go. There's the operational VA in the cloud, 2 clusters, 1 customer. And if we click on that, we can see the clusters. There they are. We're going to click on them, guys. We're going to say unassign and confirm. It says updated successfully. So we should be able to go back into this guy. We can see that we still have the 3 virtual accounts. But however, when we go into the virtual accounts, we see there's nothing associated to any of them. So let's go back into our task. We've done configured that. Now we're going to start in to do the SSM on-prem. As we're reading this, it says task 6, set up HCMF to enable smart licensing for Cisco SSM on-prem. Basically saying that we're doing the SSM on-prem. It says first complete all tasks in Appendix B. So let's go to Appendix B before we get started. There's Appendix B. There we go. Configure SSM on-prem for HCMF. So it says SSM has been installed already with basic network setup. So there's some IP addresses and stuff, some usernames, and complete the following section to make the SSM on-prem ready to complete the lab. So the first thing is, it says that we need to create a dedicated account in the smart account for SSM to use. And there's just the virtual account satellite that I remember, that third account that we weren't seeing before. That's already included in our cloud SSM. So that's already been done for us. So create and register a local account on SSM on-prem. So we're going to create the local account on the satellite or Cisco SSM on-prem, or what we call local SSM. And that is the an account that's going to be talking to the CSSM in the cloud virtual account. So, and let's go ahead and do that. So it says to click on this link, and we're going to go administrator. And once we go into administrator, we're going to use this password. So let me go ahead and copy that. There we go. Let me open up a new link. Let me see. Admin. What's it? Admin or administrator? Let me see. Admin. Admin. And then use this password and log in. All right. No accounts have been assigned to the local admin. So I think that's what we're going to do. Once logged in, request an account under the administration. So we're going to see this. We're going to say request an account under administration over here on the right-hand side. We're going to use the email address that's been provided for us. We're going to use this this account, the account name that's going to be put into the CSSM on-prem. We're going to put in this smart account information, the virtual account information. This is the virtual account that's sitting up in the cloud. So let's go ahead and do that. Go here and request an account. Remember, I pre-wrote my information up here. Let me see, where's the email address? It's going to use this email address. Okay, and the local account name, smart account name, and stuff. So let's go copy that from our lab. We're still using pod 1, so let me just copy that. This right here, and it's gonna go right there, -1. The account name is Cisco, HCS2Cisco.com, and the virtual account name is this .1. So let's go back over here. HCS.Cisco.com, and then the local account name -1. Continue. Continue. There we go. Account pending. Account request pending. So I think that's what it's supposed to say. Once we do that, we hit continue. You're going to get account request pending. And then let's go in and approve this account request. So it says open a new browser to this one using this username and password. And let me copy that. This is the an administrator portal. And let's wait for it to log in. Again, this is the this, I believe this was admin as well. Huh. Did it log me in? It might have already logged me in. I'm assuming it did, and I'm hoping it's the right username and password. It says logged in as admin, and that you may just automatically sign in. Okay, so it says it automatically signed me in. Click on the account widgets, click on account request. We should see that, and then click actions and approve. And then let's go there. Click on the accounts widgets, account request. We should see this guy. Say actions, approve. It says put in a username and password. Username, your own Cisco G, and password is the one scheduled for it. Okay, so let's go back to my things over here. This is my Cisco and that's my password. So let's go in here. We're going to put in this guy, and let me go put that password. This password. Submit. Save. It says now once we do that, it says to make sure this is HCSBU and click the virtual account and check the virtual account HCS satellite decloud part 1 and click next. And once you see that, you will see that there were no pending requests on the accounts tab, and you should now show now active account on this. So let's close the accounts window. Let's go do that. So it says to choose this guy, part 1, click next. It says registering that account to the satellite account. And if we go take a look at, believe it's the HCMF. See right here where it says VA satellite decloud part 1, VA HCS satellite decloud part 1, and well, actually I don't say it there, but VA HCS satellite decloud part 1. That is where it's going to Cisco, and it's basically this is the account name and the SSM that's talking to that. So account request none. We go to accounts active. We can see that that one is the one that's active. Let's go back to our lab now. So open now a new session and go to Cisco software cisco.com. Log in with the following information. Your own Cisco ID and password. That's the password we just did it. So I'm gonna go in this guy over here, and yep, I'm looking there. Okay, so I'm already logged in. Let me do a refresh because this continue anyway. Okay, there we go. This is a new day for me. Okay, where were we at? Go to Smart Account, and then go Virtual Accounts. Go into that satellite, and I should see that there's a connected state now on that. See this little icon right here? If we see that, that means the local SSM on-prem has registered with that. So let me go back onto this guy. And Smart Software License, HCS Operation, go to satellite. Oh, there it is. See that satellite right there? And let me see on okay, so I still got satellite. So there's my satellite. Let me see if this guy shows up now. There's my LA. There's my decloud. I mean, there's my SSM on-prem that's registered to that guy. But if I go down to satellite virtual account, I can see that it's already connected. So that's good. Or That's what we expected to see, I believe. Let me see, where's it showing it at? It was asking us to see this part right there. Okay. Nope. Okay, so now we're going to synchronize this guy. Go back to the admin portal, log in. We should already be logged in to this guy right here. And click on synchronization widget. And then click on accounts. And then click on actions, full synchronizations. And then make sure it synchronizes. So we're going to go to the synchronization accounts, click on that guy and say actions full synchronization. So let's go look at this guy. Synchronization, click on this guy, say full synchronization. They want us to do a full synchronization because when it connects, sometimes it just needs to do a full synchronization. It's just best practices to always do that. So this will take a few minutes. Let's go ahead and continue reading our lab here. What it says. Okay. So once we do that, we're gonna go to the API toolkit. We're gonna create the client ID and the secret. This is what the HCMF is gonna go ahead and use to connect to the SSM on-prem Discover here. So we're gonna go API toolkit, we're going to go client credentials grant, we're going to make sure this thing's enabled, and then we're going to create the client credentials. So, and then we're going to give it this name for our client credentials, and then we're going to have click here to create API. And then we're going to give it we're going to go through the whole step. So let's go ahead. There's too many steps. Let's go ahead and we'll go and do it up to here. Let's go see where this thing's at. Full synchronization from successful. Okay, great. So that's what we expected. We can go API toolkit. It says make sure we enable this. And then here say client credentials grant. There, it brought us to this. Now, according to our lab, it says to put this name right here, -1. So let me go back over here and name it that -1. Okay. Once we do that, we're supposed to click here and select our LA local account where it says #1 and click on account users as the role and click add and then apply, and that should be it. Let me see, account user role, click add, ensure that the added in the table, make sure it says in apply and go back. Okay, so let's go do that. So it says click here, it says to choose this guy, say account user, say add, apply and go back, and then what's it telling us to do? It says to save and close the toolkit. But while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing I did last time. I went ahead and copied these things. There's my client ID. I'm going to need it later. I know that. There's my client ID for local SSM, and I'll go ahead and copy this guy. We'll see it. It ends with FE21, and this is the secret for this guy. And there it is, FE21. Hit save and close. All right, so we completed that part of it. So we're going to configure the host name, default gateway, and DNS for that. So we're going to click on network, and then we're going to click on the general tab, and then apply the network and apply this information into the network pieces. So let's go do that. Let's close this guy. Let's go down to network, and there's the general tab. So we're going to on that, we're going to use this information. Okay. CSSMDcloud.cisco.com. Okay, good. I don't know. I've never seen what that was. I don't know something about JSON. Okay, let me see the 2.1 and 133.1. They may already be there, but let me see. 2.1, 133.1, and I think it's going to say hit apply next. Once we put that in there, hit apply, and we should be done. We're going to go then do the security piece. Let's make sure this. There's if it was using a proxy. Okay, good. Let's go into the security piece. There it is, the bottom. And let me see what we're going to do there. Click on the security widget, which we just did. Enter CSSM as the host name and click save. And then click close the button. All right, so let's go do that. Click it as that. Hit save. Hit close. Hit close. So we got the security piece done. All right. Configure a local virtual account on the CSSM. This is what the apps are going to use to connect to. This is going to be their new virtual account. So it says to log in with admin, which we should already be logged in. And then we're going to go back to this one, and we're going to say manage accounts. And then, so let's go back into our other one. This one right here, I believe this is it. Yep, SSM on-prem. There's this guy. I believe it said click on no accounts have been. We may need to do a refresh on this guy. There we go. And that message went away, so it's it manage accounts. We're going to click on virtual accounts, new virtual account. So let me see. I'm going to click on virtual accounts, new virtual accounts. I'm going to assign this name to it. And then click save. Okay, so let's copy that. Virtual accounts, new virtual accounts. Enter this guy, -1. Click save. There we go. And on the Smart Software Manager, go back to the main page. Okay, transfer licenses from the local account on CSSM on-prem. So it says go click on Smart Licensing, and we're going to transfer now the licenses from the local account to the local virtual account on the SSM on-prem. So when I click on Smart Licensing, we're going to click on Inventory, and then once we click on Inventory, we're going to click on the License tab. From the default, we're going to click on Licenses, and then we're going to say Transfer on the licenses. And then once we hit Transfer, we're going to choose our local virtual account that we just created. We're going to transfer license to the new virtual local account. And so let's do that. It says click here. Under Smart Licensing. We're going to go Inventory. We're in the default. We're going to go in Licenses. We're going to see these guys. We're going to check on these guys. We're going to say Actions. We're going to say Transfer. And we're going to say transfer to who. I'm going to say we're transferred to this local virtual account. And then it says how many. We're going to say all of them. Right, there we go. And we're going to say transfer. Okay, so now you can see on the default there's no licenses there, but we should be able now to go to this guy, and we should see that the licenses now are on the local virtual account on the local SSM. So let's go take a look at this guy. Transfer button. Okay, so we selected the cloud, we selected the 10. We see it on there. Now we see that they're all under here. Copy and save the client ID to a local SSM. Before you leave the admin portal, click on the API toolkit widget, which we already did, by the way. We already copied those the client credentials. It's saying go to here, API toolkit, go down to that guy, click on the client credentials, copy them. And in this case, we have done task sys for module 1. So we have now configured the local account and local virtual accounts on the SSM on-prem, and we are done with this task. So let's go back to we need to go back to the previous section now. Okay guys, so let's go back. Let's see appendix B, where we started at. This is where we went and just completed appendix B. So it says get into the HCMF. Let's see if we're still logged into HCMF. Nope, let's log into there. Administrator, password. What's the password for that? Sign in. Okay, while it's signing in, the next step we got to do. Infrastructure, smart licensing. We're going to go to smart account summary and add a new, and then we're going to click on satellite. We're going to do the HCMF connect to the satellite now. So let's go smart licensing, smart account summary, and then I believe it says add new, and this is going to be a satellite. And then what's the information we're going to put in there? Okay, I'm going to put the Cisco 8443, and this is 8443. Registration URL and registration token. Oops, we don't want to do that. I want to copy that, so we'll do it this way. So registration URL. There we go. And go copy registration token. Paste that. Local account name. What was the local account name? Was this guy pod 1? Pod 1. Client ID and passwords. We save those. They're over here. There's the premises client ID. Get the password or secret. I'll say password secret. That guy. Paste that there. What else does it want us to do? Put that information. And then just click save. Go to jobs and make sure this says succeeded. This is the piece that's the tricky one. So hit save. Static successfully. Go to jobs. And this is where we provisioning. Oh my God, it worked. That was awesome. We did a good job. Worked the first time. So now we should see this account success and active. Let's see. Let's see, smart summary, smart account summary. Success and active one. So we have the CSSM registered to our cloud, and we're ready to assign clusters. So we're going to go into that particular account, and then we're going to assign the clusters to that, and then we're going to click on refresh, and you see the two clusters in the table. So let's go do that. It says click on this guy. Yep, good. Okay, let's go there, and then go click on, I believe, which one was it? We're going to click on the local virtual account. I'm going to click on the local virtual account. Just verifying that. We're going to assign the clusters. So I'm going to assign these two clusters. I'm going to assign it. Update it successfully. Let's see if it shows up on the job. Okay, so they're in progress to assignment of both of those guys. Let's see if let's do a refresh. Progress of assigning those clusters to the local virtual accounts on the SSM on-prem. Well, we got one that failed. Hopefully the other one won't fail. There's going to be some troubleshooting there. Both of them failed. It was looking good. Virtual account summary, local virtual account summary, and they're not there. According to the lab, manually assign them. They should have shown manually registered. So we gotta do some troubleshooting. Try it one more time. Okay. Let me go back to this SSM and do a synchronization on that. Let's see, we need to do a full synchronization now. Log in. Did I not log in? Let me log in to this guy. Try it again. Admin, tab. Don't lock me out. Full synchronization, local virtual account action, full synchronization. Oh, okay. I need to be using the other username. All right, let's see. It says synchronization in progress. Let's see. Let's wait till the maybe synchronize this SSM on-prem to the virtual account in the cloud. Because we initially what we did is we did the synchronization at the somewhere in between the lab. I think we need to do it at the end of the lab as well, and maybe we need to fix that. As soon as this thing is done, we can go ahead and go back to our lab over here, and we'll go back to Appendix B, where were we at? We were right here. Let's see, where did we stop? Let's see where the synchronization's at. Okay, successful. Go back to the lab, and this is where we were at. We were making sure that we were signing these guys. Let's see, where are we at? Yep, we assigned the clusters into HCMF, so let's go back over here. Local virtual account, clusters, assigned. Select both of these guys and say assigned. Let's go back to administration jobs. Okay, there they are. They're being provisioned. While they're being provisioned, let's see what the next sign is. So if we assign them, refresh, and they should then show up under the local virtual account. Let's see if it actually does it this time. Succeeded. There we go. Now we can go into the virtual account summary, and we can see these guys, and actually the cluster summary. And see they're manually registered, and they're using the local account, the smart account of the satellite in the cloud, but they're using the virtual account of the local virtual account on the CSSM premise. So let's see what the lab now says. I believe it's just going to say we can see that the clusters are already configured. It's saying go ahead and connect to the apps and get their UUIDs, which we already did. We already have them. And then once we have them, it's telling us to do it to the call manager and to the Unity connection. We did it from the previous lab. And then it's asking us to log in to the SSM on-prem at this IP address and use this username and password. 98.18.2.17. There we go. Advance. Accept the risk and continue. Smart summary. Inventory. Product instances. Oh, I need to go into local virtual account. Product instances, there we go. And I think if we go to the HCS2 031A, which is the one that we had for the Unity connection, and then the CUCM, and C583 is Unity connection. Serial number, okay, the serial number on that is 7182, and the serial connector 7182 7F82. So there we go. That shows that those are the right ones that are connected to it. It's telling us here to go in. It's actually telling us what we just did. Go in and verify that that those accounts that are the right ones. And 038, they got the same one we did. And go back and do them, and we've successfully configured, and we're back to our Flex usage report. So that, my friends, ends the lab. We have now configured this local SSM. We did that local virtual account here. This local virtual account was associated with the HCS operational licenses, and then we got that was called a local account. That was the LA, and then this one here was called the local virtual account, and that's where the HCMF provisioned the UC apps to connect to. That ends our labs. Hopefully I went slow enough for you, but hopefully this video will help you as you maneuver and try to do this by yourself. Thank you very much. Bye.